Woo! Here we go. Ask me anything. Hold on, everybody.
Is he gonna take it with this music?
Can you scoot in and act like you're a part of this?
Is he gonna take it with this music though? You pick
All right, I'll turn the music on.
Yeah. I just don't want it to do all of this and then they take it off. Turn it off.
Hey, everybody. Who's there? Ask me anything. Who's there
Nobody,
so far? Nobody. One viewer.
No answers.
There's
no questions.
There's one viewer so far.
Oh, really? Is it?
One viewer.
Who that?
It's Angie Taylor. Hi, Angie. Angie's new to the group.
Oh,
right?
that's
Angie,
right. Yeah.
I think Angie just started.
Ange. I just felt like saying that. That's so Big Ange.
Oh God! All right, so Dana Ditz just left here. She actually came into the
Frida
to the Iron Temple. Left. Frida just left. Hi, Irene. Irene is such a great supporter. She's here for everything. She's always, whenever we go live, she's always
she's
here.
Always in the mix.
She's always in the mix, so we appreciate that. Frida was here earlier.
Yep.
Got a little bit of ass kicking.
Yep.
And then
Dana got some ass kicking.
So two people are missing an ass tonight.
But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, they walked out. They were breathing.
And our liability ends there.
Yeah,
so.
That's it. My goal is just to make sure that they continue to breathe while here.
Right, and then whatever happens to them out in the parking lot, we have no control over.
Whatever happens to once they leave that door, that's it.
So anyway, we're doing a very fast Ask Me Anything because first of all, we have a couple of things that we need to address. And when I say we, I mean you. Number one, you guys. There are certain things we're very specific about. Number one, you need to have your numbers in before noon Eastern time.
Correct.
So noon Eastern actually means the time that is on the Eastern Seaboard. Right. So let's just go back for a second. So if you're in the central part of the country, that's an hour ahead of you. If you're on the East Coast, that's at 9 o'clock. And if any of you are sleeping beyond 9, we want your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So noon Eastern. And if you're on the East Coast and you're turning your numbers late,
who knows what? And here's the
shame on you.
No, listen. It's not that it's because I'm trying to be a bitch about it.
Although that is true.
No, it's not. It's that I take it seriously. I take you guys' numbers seriously. I take where you're at on your journey seriously. I take it all very seriously. And I need to be able to give my 100% to it. And, on Fridays, that's when I can, and then once it kind of creeps into the afternoon hours, that tends to get a little more sketchy for me because I have a shit ton of other stuff and clients and all that kind of stuff. So I want to be able to give you guys my 100%. So that's why I kind of block the time. Right. So that's why. It's not that I'm being a bitch. It's that I want to give you guys everything. So,
but she actually is a bitch. So
I am.
Yes, and some of you have seen that. So anyway, all right. So that's the first thing. Noon at Eastern. Eastern. Okay.
And here's what happens when I get it after. It's not that I say, oh, I can't be bothered. But kind of, it's not that I can't be bothered. It's that I don't have time to get to it.
Right. She doesn't have the time to devote to it that you deserve. So if you want a meal plan, or you're really dedicated to your journey, if you're really dedicated to this journey, I would think you would jump out of bed right away and take your numbers on a Friday morning because you're so excited to see what the week has brought. And if you jump out of bed and take your numbers, then just write them down and send them. Right. Just like that. It's really that simple.
Right. Otherwise, I think I have a couple. I think that I managed to be able to get some through because I had a few minutes. But I think there may be a couple that came in that I probably won't be able to get to until tomorrow.
Right. And I think that it would help for people to understand kind of what that looks like for you. You we have almost 100 people now in this operation. We have to make this run smoothly, and for it to run smoothly, there need to be some parameters, and that's why we're very specific about noon Eastern, because otherwise she can't be here sitting in this place all day as numbers straggle in. I mean, I don't think that's not fair to you, and that's really not fair to her. All right, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the gassy Brussels sprouts thing? Because I thought that was kind of interesting. The fact that you have these certain foods that are laid out specifically, and they are for a reason.
Yeah, the foods that you guys have.
Speaking of gassy, the dog is farting.
She is.
She just farted. I'm not farting. The dog is farting.
She is not. Does she look like she's farting?
Yep.
No, that's the chair or something.
The dog is farting.
Anyway, all the vegetable, everything on there, they're on there for a reason. Certain combinations are on there for a reason. So sometimes, I mean, I get it. You guys, are kind of tired of eating the same thing. So I don't take offense to you guys emailing me and saying, listen, can I substitute this? But I will say this: what's on your plan is what I need you to eat for that time period, based on your numbers and all that kind of stuff. There's certain foods that make you pee. That's good.
And make your pee smell.
And that's what I want.
Asparagus,
particularly
and that's
in the beginning of this journey. That's what we need. So that's why it's there. So Brussels sprouts, while they are, and other vegetables, while they are good, they don't really contribute to what we need to do, particularly at the stages that all of you are on. Like, no one is beyond losing fat and building muscle at this stage. So, as you guys creep into the next phases and the next levels of this whole thing and your journey, then you'll start to see some other stuff. But until then, try really to stick to what's on your plan.
And she just said something that I want to piggyback off of. You guys, she's not a short order cook. You don't get to pick and choose.
That.
Yeah, you don't get to pick and choose. This is not a diner. And
there's no negotiating.
And there is no negotiating. It's not, X for Y, and it's not like that. You don't get to send your stuff in and then go, all right, I'll see you this and raise you this. It doesn't. It's not a poker game.
Yeah.
It's a meal plan. And not just that. I think you all really need to get this. Really, you need to absorb this. You are getting what you need, not what you want. If you wanted what you want, we'd all be eating cotton candy and hot tamales and swishing it all back with martinis. But that's not what this is. We're trying to make you understand that there are certain things you need to do to get the thing that you say that you want. This is what everybody comes here for. They say they want a better body. They say they want to feel better. And yet, when she says, all right, in order for you to do that, you need to eat egg whites, turkey burgers, kale, spinach, blah, blah, blah. You're all like, but do I have to? And when I say you all, I don't mean you all. You know what I'm saying. Yes, you have to. That's what this is. This is not, you don't get to do what you want. I take that back. You can do what you want. What you don't get is to do what you want and then expect the numbers to be
right.
what
That's
you want
all.
them to be. Right.
That's it in a nutshell. Yeah, because obviously we can't.
Yeah, we're not like
do anything.
We're not the Secret Service. We're not like
you can do whatever you want. We're
right.
just here to give you what you say you want.
Exactly. And then I also think it would help if sometimes, Alicia, and I'm not calling her out, but Alicia was at a conference and she was,
I'm not calling her out, but Alicia.
But she was in group and she had her name attached to the comment.
Okay.
And it's a comment that I think people feel are very, it's not uncommon to feel this way. She was like, I want to, lie down and roll in a vat of potato chips. And she was at a conference and she was watching all these people eat all this stuff that she normally would eat. Well, your life is different now. And I think it helps if you go back and look at the reasons that you're here. Reasons that you're here.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's see what people are saying. Look, see there, Alicia? I called you out. Look at her here. She said, definitely did not. Haha, yes, she was a mess.
You know what the other thing is? What kind of trainer and coach and support system would we be if we said, oh yeah, sure, go eat that or go eat that. Don't worry about what's on your plan. You can do that's
right.
bullshit. That's bullshit.
Right.
That's not what you guys pay for.
Right.
So sorry, I'm going to give you what you pay for. You can take it or not.
Right.
but you're going to get it from us, and whether you receive it, that's a whole other thing.
You know, and I think she's harsh sometimes. Like she'll send the email because I'm sitting right across from her, and I hear all the stuff. You know, as the things are coming in, and she's like, "What's going on here? What happened?" There's like 2 words in an email. What happened? I'm like, you think you could soften that up a little bit? Like, hey, it looks like you might be struggling.
No.
You know what?
No.
Just like a just.
No, because you know what? 9 times out of 10, they know what happened. So I don't need to sugarcoat
Is that true?
it.
Is that true?
I don't have to sugarcoat it. What happened or what didn't happen?
Right.
Tell me. Talk to me.
Right. Okay. Ruth Ward had a question here. She wants to know, am I getting enough calcium for my age? I know greens have it, but do I need a supplement? And I know how you feel about supplements. You're not a fan of prescribing or suggesting.
The answer to that is check with your doctor, get your numbers checked, and if your doctor feels like even food wouldn't give you the right amount of calcium, then you need a supplement. And that for that reason, that's why I mention nothing about supplements, because I think that we should all be able, healthy bodies should all be able to get what we need from food. However, sometimes that's not the case. So,
all right, Sushi, do you feel like you're watching a tennis match? Yeah, Angie Taylor, because she's our drill sergeant. Yep, that's how you guys. Sorry, I got to go see where everybody said. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday from Carolyn. Sherelle, hello, Sherelle. Y'all are live, and Sherelle is here. All right, Karen Palmer. I'll do it on time next week. Amanda had to remind me. She must be talking about turning the numbers in. That's fine. And Karen, I think you're in Central Time Zone, so you guys are going to be an hour earlier. So that's 11 your time.
Yeah.
Sherelle. Oh, God, I forgot. Damn, sorry. Forgot what? Numbers?
Numbers, yep.
Sherelle, you of all people, as hard as you are working.
Do it tomorrow morning. Don't do That's another thing. Make sure your numbers are done in the morning. So if you don't do it Friday morning, then it has to go to Saturday morning.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want to do them now.
Yeah.
You don't want to do them in the evening. And why would that be?
After you've eaten,
and you're gassy,
and
you're gassy,
all of that kind of stuff. Right. You want to do the most accurate numbers are first thing in the morning when you come out of rest.
Right. You guys, I wish you could see this little jerry-rig system we have working here. This is dangerous. All right, sushi. Everybody loves sushi. Whatever. Brussels sprouts are gross anyway. Same with asparagus. Asparagus, actually, Karen, is a big part of the plan. And why would that be?
Because they make you pee.
It's
and
a diuretic.
Need to eliminate. It's a diuretic. Natural diuretic. So you people who like to go on these cleanses, and I really wanted to use the word stupid, but I didn't.
Nope, she did not until just now. But go ahead.
But when you guys go on these cleanses, you don't need to. You can do a cleanse from just regular old food.
Yep, and pooping. Karen Palmer says, Nicole, I used your tip for cooking the steak. It was yummy, very tender. Carolyn says, I don't like martinis. Good. That's good. How about hot tamales? Yeah, you like those? Alicia, did going to cook my steak in the oven like you said, Nicole. Yeah, it works really well. Yeah. Ruth Ward and the calcium. Helen Keating. Hey, Helen. She joined. Please enable us. All right. And let's see. Susan Cusack. Can I have chicken broth, and what is a burpee? For real, I don't know other than what Nicole does in the morning. Can she have chicken broth, Nicole? Susan, this is Susan Cusack.
If she is she cooking it in something?
Are you cooking it in like? Are you cooking your like your quinoa or your vegetables in it, or are you just like swigging it back? What like chicken broth? If you're cooking it, is it okay? If you use low sodium,
using it to
cook because with quinoa.
Yeah, with quinoa. Yeah.
Is that what you mean, Susan?
I personally don't like to buy the low sodium broth. I'd rather get the lowest sodium of regular broth.
Sherelle said, okay, I'll send him in the morning. Good. All right. Susan, my kale and spinach and veggies. Yes, that's what she means.
Okay.
So
that's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. Pamela, numbers are from this morning. I just didn't send until now. Okay.
Okay.
Rhonda wanted to know, Rhonda had sent a question. First of all, can we update the Jeep? Irene wanted to know how the Jeep was doing.
Jeep is good so far, so good. It was something minor, overheated, radiator.
No, it was a fan. The fan.
Yeah, but it was the radiator that blew. The radiator was what we heard, the sound that you guys heard on the...
No, that wasn't the radiator. No, that
It was
was
a radiator hose.
But that's the, okay.
She's
So
telling me what the mechanic said.
right. So because Nicole is good at driving a car into the ground, and I think that's what she tried to do.
Isn't that what you do with cars?
Right. But the mechanic said it was a radiator hose because the fan wasn't cooling the engine.
Right.
And what was happening is when she was driving, there was enough forward motion for to cool it. But then when we were waiting for the battery to charge, the car was just idle and there was no air. The fan wasn't working. There was no air, and that's what caused the buildup of heat and the radiator hose blew. It was okay. It was a pricey repair.
Yes.
So that's that. And then Rhonda wanted to know how we started working together, or when we decided to work together. Because it's been 2 years now, almost.
At the end of this month, it's going to be 2 years.
We have a mutual friend.
Feels like 20, but...
Underwater. Feels like 20 minutes underwater. Feels like 2 minutes. Underwater. With weighted boots on. With cement around your ankles. That's what it feels like. Okay. We have a mutual friend who is a big PR person here. And Nicole, prior to any of this, Nicole has been doing this for 20 years, but she had a very small social footprint. And so my friend said, you know, Rene, would you be interested in, you know, I guess she'd been trying to get us together for a while.
Yeah, she mentioned you a few times. She said, oh, I got to get you in touch with my friend Rene. And we'd said yes, and she and I had been working on some other projects, and then I came up with one particular project, and she was like, okay, I got to get you involved with Rene, because you're doing the sweet retreats.
Right. So, yeah, because it was the retreat.
It was the retreats that
have now come to fruition.
That have now come to fruition.
So
basically, you guys need to thank and kiss her, because
who's Stacy?
You.
Oh.
Because
who knew?
Well, we need to thank Stacy, but they need to thank you, because you guys wouldn't have any clue who I am without her. So,
well, anyway, I came on board because I was working. I had a television show called Sweet Retreats, and I had auditioned for The View a couple of summers ago, and I came to Nicole because, like so many of you, I had, was a certain age and was starting to put on weight. But the big thing was my blood pressure was starting to creep up, and my father died of heart disease at 59. And I was like, oh, I have to, I was under a lot of stress, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to, do something about this. So anyway, I went to Nicole and I said, hey, listen, and she said, I tell you what, I'll train you and you do my social media. And I said, all right, so that's good. And that's how we started. When I got a little bit more involved in the thing, then Sweet Retreats went away and the other things that I had went away. And I got more involved with Nicole, and I realized that how unique her method was.
That I was the shit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I realized how unique her method was. She was the very first person who'd ever said to me, when I said, oh, I want to reshape my body, she was the first person.
You guys see this? You see her pawing me?
Look at her. Just don't pay attention. Just watch for a second. But she was the first person who had ever said to me, you really need to eat more food. If this is what you want in your body and you want to reshape your body, then you need to eat more food. She's the very first person to ever say that. And when I started eating more food, look at what happened. What happened? What happened was, but it's interesting, like you guys, I was in the same position you are, where I was like, surely you can't mean eat more than 1,200 calories a day. Surely you can't mean, and she said, no, and as soon as I put every single thing that I knew about weight and body fat loss and weight loss and all that stuff out of my head and just put myself in her hands and listened and did what she said, look what happens. So I guess, I was exactly where you guys were, where you're kind of, sometimes you're doubting, you're disbelieving, and when you do it, it actually works, but you actually have to do it. So that's how we got together, Rhonda, and we started working that way, and then we decided to kind of really go into a partnership on this, and so that's where we are now. And then as a result, now we've launched several initiatives, namely this online group. We have the retreat houses, which was another thing. and just really, we've moved to this great new space now. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take all the credit for it. She's the one who had the brand, but she just needed help expanding the social footprint. And now she has a social footprint. She has a regular column in Curve magazine. She's got, people are what do you call it, looking at her for endorsements and things like that. So yeah, you know what? I'm proud of what we did. You should be too. We worked really hard.
Some good stuff.
Carolyn, Mom, pay attention. Yeah, Carolyn, that's her. Hey, Carrie, and Michelle Myers just joined. I know I said this was going to be 15 minutes, but Nicole, don't you get hot wearing that sweatshirt? I would die.
No, you know what? It's like
It's a blanket.
It's a
for her.
blanket. It feels like it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Wanda, a multivitamin and vitamin D supplement. Will this be okay? We talked about that. You're probably gonna have to see your doctor about that. Stop it, Irene. I know high school stuff on you from Angie. Happy anniversary. No waterboarding. What? Angie has poop. All right. What the hell is going on here? I know why. Makes my. All right. That dog is so cute. What does sushi eat? What can sushi eat? Okay. So you said pooping, so I'm going to ask. Just been prepping this week to start Monday, cutting carbs and sugar. I've been spending time in the bathroom. Is that normal or okay?
Yes, and this is why I say you do not need to go on a cleanse where you're eating nothing and drinking some stupid juice or water or lemon and cayenne pepper and that stupidness. I mean, when you're eating the right foods, that's your natural cleanse. So yes, that's.
But I think what people are looking for in a cleanse is they want to lose like 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's not even healthy.
And as soon as you start eating again, normal food, that 10 pounds comes back, so it's a waste. Who wants to not eat?
Alicia says, are marinades okay for turkey burgers? Oh, God. Here we go. Oh, God. No.
It's too much sodium.
Right. Your seasonings should be dry.
Yeah, your dry seasonings, with limited salt. I mean, you do want it seasoned to taste. I mean, I don't expect people to eat bland food because I don't. But you have to really be. The point is, particularly in the beginning stages, is that you really need to focus on limiting your sodium and your sugar. Period. End of story. Which is what we all love, and obviously fat. So, I mean, and that's really the hard part. So you guys are always asking about one of those three items.
Right.
Those are the things that got you here, though. So the answer will always be no at this stage because that's why you're here. So we're trying to break those habits, and the only way to break habits, you can't break habits and continue even a little bit doing them.
No.
You have to completely stop them so that your body won't crave it.
Stop it, sushi. Now she's following me. Yeah, the sugar thing is big. And I mean, it's all, well, Patty Harton has talked about this a lot in group that she had a real sugar addiction. Sugar is, if you read about it, it's like, it's a fat incubator. It helps your body to store fat. And you really, you gotta, that's what, you need to look at what sugar of
Look at her paw me. Look at her paw me. Look.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody sees it now.
Look.
All right. God. Sushi down. Eat your, look at this. Eat that. It's yummy. But sugar, whether it's from fruit or licorice or pasta or anything, it breaks down to the same shit in your body. And that's the stuff that that's the stuff that you're trying to get away from.
Right.
You have to.
Someone today, and I'm not going to shout them out because that's not my style, but I think
That
it's
is a
important.
lie.
No. I think it's important for you guys to know. So I sent someone a plan, and it had brown rice and what was it? Brown rice and oatmeal. And my email response back to that was, I don't want to eat the carbs because it does something to me. It makes me want more, right? So now the plan before that had sweet potato, which was fine. And why was it fine? It was fine. I get it. But I need to point it out. The sweet potato was fine because it was sweet. So what I did was I put the caloric intake for sweet potato, oatmeal, and brown rice up. And I showed for all three the calories, the carbs, and the sugar. And for all three, obviously, which one had the most sugar? The sweet potato. So this person didn't want, and that was fine because she ate the sweet potato and was fine with that and loved it probably.
Which was a carbohydrate.
Which was a carb.
Right.
So I had to point out to her, listen, you only liked that and you only thought that way because you were getting that sugar out of it.
Right.
So the carbs, the oatmeal and the brown rice is not going to make you go running to want more.
Right.
Unless you want it. Don't use that as an excuse.
And this is, again, a perfect time to reiterate. You can't get a plan and then say, I'm not going to do this or I am going to do that. Just do it. Or don't, but understand why your numbers are not responding. She has 2 decades worth of experience behind this. This is
now
not.
I can look at your numbers.
This
and
is
I
not
know.
stuff she's pulling out of her ass.
No.
She's not like, oh, here, let me guess. This is evidence based. And it is. She's seen it
Always
in practice.
evidence-based,
And she's seen it in practice. And in other words, this is not her first rodeo, and you are not her first circus performers. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is not. She's not.
I
she's
should
not
look
a
at your
novice.
numbers and tell you whether or not you've been off plan or whether you've kind of sort of been on plan. I could tell from the numbers. It's all in the
Do
numbers.
you guys know how, and it's still, even at this late date, kills us about how, even though we talk about how the scale is not important, the emphasis that you guys place on the scale. So you'll turn in a number and you'll be like, well, I'm down 2 pounds, but but all the inches will be up. And when she sees that, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Do you know why? Does anybody know why that's not a good thing? Anybody at all? Sushi, do you know why that's not a good thing? Somebody answer. Why is that not a good thing?
For inches to be up, but the weight on the scale to be down. Why is that not good?
Let's see if anybody answered here. She knows. Yep, Irene, she knows when. What was the pasta that you had on the treat? Susan, that was quinoa pasta. So it was quinoa with, like, there's something else in it, but it was basically quinoa.
Yeah, it's quinoa.
It's the point about brown rice and oatmeal and sweet potatoes that those are slow release carbs. In other words, they're not dumping a bunch of sugar into your bloodstream at the same time or all at once. Alicia, I'm sorry, Alicia. Is it Alicia or Alicia? Alicia said you're losing muscle.
Correct.
Yes, absolutely. So when you are losing pounds but getting larger, it's because you've lost weight but you're getting softer.
Right.
You're getting softer, so your footprint is getting bigger, not
But
small.
somehow, some of you prefer that because the scale is lower.
Right.
And
It is mind-boggling. It is.
Even once we've said, because I know there's nobody in here that shouldn't know that you can't go by the scale weight. Like all of you at this point.
I think everybody gets that on an intellectual
yes,
level.
but they don't want to believe
But
that.
they don't want to believe it, and they somehow are still, I think, believe somewhere in here that a smaller number on the scale is better, no matter what else. Rebecca, muscle loss. Yep, everybody. Fat grows, muscle goes. Losing muscle, the lady max quadruplets. Yep, ding, ding, ding. Yep, Alicia. I admit it. I'm a scale addict. Nope, can't do that. Can't do that here.
Otherwise,
Can't
you're
do that
setting
here.
yourself up.
Deborah Reed, done 2 Epsom salt baths this week, and my shoulders are still killing me. Any ideas? Why are your shoulders killing you? From
Who's that?
Deborah Reed. Does she have a shoulder routine or something?
Is it killing you because you work the muscle and they're sore?
I mean, you guys need to understand the difference between soreness, which you should be after a workout, and an injury.
Right.
You know.
Chances are, if they're both of them, then there's probably just muscle soreness.
Susan, what was the pasta you had? Patty Harden just joined. Hey, Patty. Does Sushi need to go outside? No, but she does need to pee, and we hope it's
She's
not on
finally
us.
laid it down there.
All right, Alicia. Okay, I love me some salt. No marinades. You may love salt, but it don't love you. It does love your waist, however. Angie says thank you. Alicia, damn. Oh, good. Alicia, I hope you're coming up to the retreat with us. You should kind of like a free colonoscopy.
Yep.
How much water should we be drinking every day? From Liz Dwyer.
You know, I don't. Where's your bottle? I don't go crazy. People go crazy over this stuff. One of these, which is 64 ounces, is fine.
64
Or actually
ounces.
it's,
64 ounces of water a day.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
8 ounces.
So you know what? So just so you don't have to count and all that, because I think that's crazy. You don't have to. It's not that serious.
Right.
Get one of these. Start out at the day, and by the end of the day, be done with it. That's
All right, Sherelle, I'm losing my addiction to the scale and gaining one for trying on clothes. Absolutely.
Good.
Deborah Reed. Yeah, okay, muscles. Guess it's muscles that need more growing. Make sure you're not overdoing it.
Yes,
But,
that's the other thing. So people get so involved,
right.
that they end up thinking that more is better and more is not better.
Not necessarily. Absolutely. Patty says it's hard to break the scale habit. All of our lives we were told about weight. That's true. And that's because of the multi-billion-dollar weight loss industry, which has told you that that's the only number you need to pay attention to, even though we all know, and everybody, all 12 of you in here and us here, everybody knows that when you lose weight like that, you're losing muscle.
Yeah.
When you lose that
And
fat.
fast.
Yeah, when you lose that fat.
Like The Biggest Loser. That's why every single one of them.
So, Patty, I get it. I understand that. Yeah, those rat bastards.
But the thing is that when you know better, you try to
Ruthie's
do
here.
better. Start
Hey,
to
Ruthie.
rethink. You have to retrain your brain because now
Absolutely.
you know better. You're living better that you
Yes, Patty.
know this information. So
Right. So in other words, now that you know better.
proof.
So you know, and we have said it 1,000 times in here. There was that big piece in the New York Times. You did the video about it. You guys know that the weight on the scale, the number on the scale is telling you a fraction of the story. It is not the complete story. It is a fraction of the story. And that really what we want to see and what you want to see and what you want to focus on is inches getting smaller. And the only way that's going to happen is when you eat. You must eat. That's not negotiable. Patty, I'm with Sherelle, losing the addiction to the scale and loving shopping in my own closet. Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, Patty's done great. Patty hasn't even been on the plan 2 months yet.
Nope.
I don't think so. All right, you guys. Wow. Well, that 17 minutes, that 15 minutes turned into 32.
Wow.
Anybody else? Anybody else got anything else before we sign off? Because we are headed. So can we wait ourselves, Dana? No.
No.
It is still a tool. It's still a tool because it's part of.
Well, it's for me. The tool is for me, so that since I can't take like today, I took Dana's body fat. I can't take your body fat from here, so it's an important tool for me, along with your measurements. But the weight on the scale by itself means absolutely nothing to me.
All right, Patty just said, by the way, seeing this has saved me today. I was craving sugar bad today. So, Patty, question for you: Are those cravings moderating some? Because you're now 7 weeks out that you haven't had anything sweet or sugary. Are the cravings that you had today, were they as strong as say they would have been 7 weeks ago?
And when you do have those cravings, you should
Dramatically.
You should reach out to us, though.
Right.
Don't sit with it by yourself. Reach out and
Because how much of that is mental and how much of it is physical?
At this point, for her, it's all mental.
Yeah.
It's like she's.
Do you agree, Patty?
She's past the physical part of it. Mm-hmm. Now it's mental.
Yeah.
Liz
Dwyer, can you send me the info packet? Yep. I sure can. Patty says, I do not crave near as much. Normally when I crave, it's time to eat.
Right,
And
exactly.
she just said it's all mental and caps.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what you're talking about.
Every now and then.
Every
should. Now and
You know
then
what?
I get this shit right.
You should do this for a living.
You know what?
You are good.
After the summer, maybe come the fall.
Yeah.
Maybe
do
I'll
this
look
for a living.
I'll look into that.
Patty, that's great. But Patty, the fact that you recognize that, I think, is important. The fact that you recognize, because what happens is it that your blood sugar levels dip, and then you want something right away to boost them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Patty, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's it. That's me.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That's right. That's me.
Alicia is ending week 2. Week 2, all right, how do you feel, Alicia? I know this was tough for you because you had the conference. Did you learn some things going into the conference, and so that the next time you have to go to a conference or you have to travel, you have some, some plans in place? Because really, I think you can talk to anybody in here. Mm-hmm. Everyone has faced what you've faced. Everyone has been there. Everyone there's always a workaround. You can find a place to buy your food. You can make plans. You can bring your food. I mean, I have a friend who's on the same plan. She bought our bags, our food bags. She's flying to Ireland. She plans on bringing all of her food for the trip over and in the airport, because she doesn't want to be stuck eating shit in the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alicia said she learned a lot. It was really hard.
And it is hard. And we realize that for those of you who are new and just starting, that it's a completely different life change. So it we get it. Yeah, we get that.
Alicia said she felt like crying. You can cry.
Yeah, you can cry.
You can cry. Just don't eat that shit.
Just don't eat the shit. That's right. You can cry all you want.
You sell food bags. No, Susan.
We should, as many as we've recommended.
We don't sell food bags, but this is the bag.
We need to get them as a sponsor, though.
This is the bag that we use. It's a meal management bag. It's by
Isolator Fitness.
Isolator Fitness?
Isolator Fitness, yeah.
It's a meal management bag, and it's got, it can hold 6 containers. These are not the containers that go in it. Nicole's would have all of the containers that go in it. Mine just is all jerry-rigged. But it holds 6 individual meals in it, and it's insulated, and you can put the insulated packets that go
the
with
ice
it
packets
up top. It's got
stuff, cool.
This here. So you can put your shakes or your whatever it is, and it's got a nice little. It's real. Nicole's is a little bit bigger than mine. This one's mine. But you can go to isolatorfitness.com. The last time I checked, I think they were having a big sale. I checked earlier in the week, and I think everything was like 40% off.
They always have.
So yeah, show them that's the little thing that goes with it. But this is what we use.
Yeah, so I don't leave the house without mine. So I have weight belt. It fits.
This is her purse.
This is my purse. It has my gloves. In here, I usually have my polar heart rate monitor. In here are, my drinks that I actually use for training. But then here is where everything goes. And these are the containers that come in. So on mine, I could fit 6 containers, 6 meals. So I'm never without. And so I can't, I'm not leaving it, which is hopefully where you guys will eventually get to.
Right.
I don't leave my stuff to chance.
Right. Right. And I think Frida said something earlier to Alicia earlier in the week that, she was like, you're too new in the process to trust yourself or to leave anything to chance. And that's where we're really super serious about food and about meals, because you have to be. Liz, speaking of gloves, do you have any recommendations? Will you grab your gloves again? Sherelle, free advertising. Yeah. Hi, Evelyn. So here are the kind of gloves we use.
The brand is Harbinger, Harbinger, and the reason why, this is probably my 4th or 5th pair, but I've had these probably for about 20 years. This same style, because it's just good to wrap your wrists. Oh, here's the maker.
These are on. I think I got mine on Amazon.
Yep, Amazon. But yeah, they have the gel here, and then it's a strap.
So it kind of can protect your wrists a little, give you a little more support there. By the way, the ISO bag is a good thing, but you don't have to have it. You can buy. I have also some containers that I got on Amazon that you can just throw in a bag. Whatever. Hey, Nancy.
But if you get the
how
bag,
did Nancy did street join? I thought she was in the air. Hey, Nancy. Hi. Alicia, I was frustrated at all what I couldn't have, but I need to. Here's the thing, Alicia. there is power in choosing and making choices, and especially in making choices that are good for you. And that, I think, is what you're talking about. When we asked you to look at those people who were at the conference and eating all the stuff that you thought looked good and you thought, oh, I wish I could have that stuff, what I really wanted you to look at was their shape, because that's what you would look like if you ate what they were going to eat. You're making a difference. You're making a change. You're making a change in your body. Is it hard? Hell yes. Especially when everybody around you is eating the stuff that you think is quote unquote good. But what's good about a whole bunch of fat and sugar and that you feel like shit 2 hours later, and then you're gassy and then you're fat, so I mean, you have to, that's the thing. You have to kind of change what is good. Carolyn is really good about this too. She talks about like that stuff after, and she's been on the plan since January, I think. She's like, that stuff doesn't appeal to me anymore. It doesn't look good to me anymore. Don't eat that shit. Michelle Myers, I know I will probably cry. Why do you say that, Michelle? Because you're afraid of the things that you can't have? Are you worried about deprivation?
The same things that got you to where you are, you should be happy,
right,
to eat something else,
right,
that's going to reverse all of that.
Samantha, hi Samantha, checking in from London, I think.
Oh, she's in Singapore now. Oh, tomorrow
she says I have food packed for my trip to Singapore. Nice going. Yeah, Michelle, I mean, she's saying that, and it's not actually to be funny. It's
no,
actually true.
I'm serious.
Like, this is the stuff that we're trying to get you not to eat is the stuff that got you here. There's nothing good about high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, being overweight. None of those things is good for you in the long term. And you guys need to understand that you are building a future one egg white at a time.
Waist training, don't feel any way about it.
Who asked that? Oh, waist training. Yes, it's called crunches. That's how we train our waist. All that stuff is
gimmicky.
It's gimmicky and no. Patty, not only does your shape change, but the health benefits and the energy you get from this menu. Yep, Patty's a great example.
And you won't get that from waist training.
A friend of mine asked me, this friend of mine who I told you is on the plan, and she's not in group because she's really not on Facebook. God, I can't believe anyone not on Facebook. But she went on the plan, and 5 days later I saw her. And the very first thing I noticed, her hair. I was like, oh my God, your hair is so shiny. Her hair, when she took her before pictures, was all dull and dry. And when I saw her at my house, her hair was shiny. Those are those kind of benefits that you kind of don't expect, and all of a sudden you have them. This is great because I'm weakest on the weekends. We need this every Friday. Okay, well, we will try. Fabric as well. Okay, Nicole. Video stopped. Uh-oh. Carolyn, where do you live? Are you on Mars, Carolyn? Because we're still going here. What is going on? Patty, my hair has changed dramatically too. Yep, skin cleared up, blood pressure down. Perfect. But look at Susan. My hair is growing too. You both are awesome. Thank you for what you do. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, Helen. Hair and skin change for the better. Carolyn, I'm back. Carolyn lives on the dark side of the moon, I think. Okay. Look at this framing. Look at the dog. Look at her. All right. Like, video stop for a second. All right. Okay, you guys. So that was
Hey. She's funny.
That was all we wanted to say, is that we just wanted to do an Ask Me Anything. We'll try to do it as much as we can. Hope you guys have a terrific weekend.
Yes, we do pack food for sushi. She didn't eat it, but it's there.
And she didn't pee, so this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay, stay on plan. It's not for us. It's really for you. You're building a future.
This is your journey that we're just trying to help navigate you through.
Oh, Patty, thank you. Remember, Pat, you guys have dropped some serious knowledge. Like when Frida and Patty was like, "Oh, I just know I need to eat." Sorry, I need to get real close, but Faye, you two really do rock. Renee, my hubby, watched your video to the graduates and stood up and gave you an ovation. Thank you. Good luck this weekend. You guys, we're going to do a Warrior Dash this weekend. We have one every weekend this month, except for the last weekend. You guys have a great, and give Sushi a kiss. Her breath is awful.
It is awful.
It is awful. All right. Look who coming up here late. Look who rolling up late.
Oh, Evelyn.
Frida rolling up here late.
Oh, Frida. Right. Oh, she just joined. Oh, okay.
All right, you guys. We are out. I'm going to do a super, super fast Ask Me Anything on my page. She doesn't know yet, but I am. If you want to join over there, you can. Thank you. Have a great weekend. See ya.